Okay. Welcome back to One Piece Anime Re-Review Episode 63. Yes, it's finally back. My review series, this one. Unlike the other ones discussing 4, this one I'm discussing 3 because just to get the thing off the going. Discussing episodes 795 to 797. Excuse me. There are 4 brand new characters who make debut in these 4 episodes. One I kind of forgot, and I know he was in this arc, but I kind of forgot the very first episode of this arc is his debut. Who is he, you might ask? It's Pespero, a guy who I love his look, and I talk about him frequently in my reviews for One Piece because he's appearing regularly right now. I've just been used to the sub voice for such a long time. I've been used to the sub voice of this character for 5 years, and now I'm hearing the dub voice first time, and it's Aaron Desmark, who actually has been in a few series I have seen. He was actually the star of the series, get this, Banished the Hero Party. Yep, he played the character Red. I'm like, okay. I've only seen one episode so far, so I'm going to save judgment on this later, but he does okay for his first episode. One thing I did notice, though, for his debut, is it just me, or it looked like they gave a slight color redesign for the dub? He looked a little different I've seen him lately. Yeah, I have no idea why he's like this for. I don't know if this is Funimation or the fact because I haven't seen these episodes in 5 years. That could be that, yes. Now, the other character made debut in these episodes. One, of course, is basically... Now, I kind of forgot he actually showed up in these episodes. I thought he'd show up a little bit later, but no. It's Kagane Capone. Yeah, Gang Capone. Basically, him and this... He really makes a return here. I thought it was a little bit later when he showed up. Oh, no, it was actually this very episode. I forgot he showed up here. And I told Kyle Herbert it was A26 when he returned. Oh no, it was actually like with these episodes. Look, I hope Kyle Herbert can forgive me because here's the thing. It's been 5 years since I watched these episodes. So it's something. Now, details like this is a bit slippery for someone who's been watching a series for 5 years. Who are the other characters? Well, let's see. There's, like I said, Pespero, Pez. There is a couple others. One is a giant tree. Yes. Now, this tree, his name is Kingabaloom. And he's voiced by Jeremy Inman. You're probably thinking, that is an odd name. Who did he voice? Well, he is the voice of Android 16 from Dragon Ball Z. Yep, that guy is voicing a giant tree now. Of course he is. It's One Piece. Now, there's also one other character makes his debut here, and it's Charlotte Cracker, who's a big hulking guy in first of all. He gets shorter. He's an arrogant prick, basically, if I can tell from him. He's voiced by David Magra. You're probably thinking, that name kind of sounds familiar. Those of you who are fans of My Hero Academia, this is the guy who voices Shudo. Yep, he's also Burnout Oliver, aka the Colossal Titan. Yep, seriously. He's also been, aside from Attack on Titan and My Hero Academia, he was also God Serena from Fairy Tail. Yep. Let's see. He has also been in... Oh, besides this series. He was also in Shuriken Kenshin. He was in the new Kaito arc. Yep. He also popped up in Noi, aka Mielev. He's with Kota Kababara. I believe... No, he's actually just... He just one of the supporting characters in the series. If I think it worked properly here. But yeah, these are your four characters making a debut here. Yep. Now, in these episodes, first we start with Caesar Clown. This, I kind of do remember this particular part. Where Caesar Clown is having a conversation with Big Mom about how she wanted to create the whole thing of giant humans. Now, I remember from the sub, I know it's been 5 years, they were talking about artificial devil fruits. Why the heck did they talk about gigantism? Yeah, I don't know if this was me misremembering it, but I thought it was devil fruits. At first, devil fruits that she was talking about. Oh no, she wanted to create giant-sized humans. Okay, this may have been what happened. I don't know. Like I said, it's been 5 years. I remember the scene. And then, of course, she gives him a lab, which I do remember this. But the lab itself, I kind of forgot what it looked like. Because I keep saying this, it's been 5 years since I watched these episodes. So my memory is not as fresh as basically when I first did a review of this thing 5 years ago. And apparently his lab is a complete duplicate of his lab from Punk Hazard. The very same lab that was destroyed by the Straw Hats and Trafalgar Law. Which, of course, that part was true. And they even show stock footage of that. Yep. By the way, Punk Hazard's not the only one that's referenced here. Yeah, they also reference, of all things, Thriller Barker, of all things. Yes, I'll get to that. So, this is where we're introduced to Passmore for the first time. And he basically does act like the way he does in the sub, which I at least got praise Aaron Desmark for that. At least he acts like he has the same personality. I'm hoping at some point he say, hello, Lee. Yes, he has. That's part of basic something he says. He's like, he basically talks with his tongue sticking out. Though, I'm sure Aaron Desmark himself was doing his best with this character because this is a character who talks with his tongue sticking out. That's still, to this day, that's the only thing I don't like about this character, is the fact he said his freaking tongue. And she's like, oh, if you don't provide that particular drug that Mama wants, I'm going to turn you to candy and lick you till you're dead. He's like, lick me? Yes, lick you. As a candy man, because he basically hit the candy cane fruit. That's his ability. And apparently he's the Minister of Candy. Pespero is also the first child of Big Mom. He says she is his eldest son. And by the way, his brother, Katakuri, is bigger than he is. Yes, seriously. He's taller, but he's older. And you are probably thinking, when it comes to... Not that one. When it comes to Aaron, with the character Pespero, how old is this guy? He is 50. That's not a joke. He seriously is 50 years old. And you're thinking, what? He's 50? He clearly doesn't look 50. Yes. In the case of Cracker, who, by the way, is the 10th son of Big Mom, they actually don't list his age. Actually, no, wait, he does. He is 45. I'm like, interesting. Yeah. So he hands off Caesar Clown, despite the fact Big Mom's also giving him some money. Apparently, Caesar couldn't recreate the drug, so he, of course, used it on children. And what did he do with all the money? He wasted it on a brothel. And booze. That is seriously what he did with the money. Like, if Big Mom found out what he did, she would probably rip him in half. Or probably have him basically, he drain his soul and then basically, or worst case, throw the man in the ocean. And by the way, briefly see Sanji's episode. I say briefly. It's a brief cameo. He just walks up, like, he shows up, Caesar's heart, gives the Vito, and then Vito somehow off screen passes off to Pespero, who at that point isn't. And that's the last see of Caesar Cloud and Sanji, because he's absent for the next couple episodes. But I'll look forward to watching more of that. So, meanwhile, though, Luffy is running around the seducing woods, capturing various people. And before I continue here, I have to briefly talk about what Brook and Pedro are up to, where they're looking around. Of course, they found out about what happened with Jinbei, where he tried to resign. Like, oh, big betrayal. He betrayed me. Betrayal. You might think, where did he get that from? I got that from, of all things, Spoonie. Yes, that was actually from his, he did this sort of this, like, 10-part review series over the course of several years. I watched in, like, one play. I think it's, Usopp, I think it's the name of the series. It was a series where where the country is called Britannia, and by the 9th game, basically, it's like a complete betrayal of the entire original series, because apparently people who made it apparently never played the previous games. Yes, that's where I get it from. And it's too bad Spoon doesn't do reviews anymore. All he does is he just streams video games. He does not do reviews anymore. I actually like his video game reviews. So, excuse me, it's not surprising Paige does not know who Jinbei is. And of course, basically, we have another flashback, this time to Fishman Island. Yes, the second of 3 flashbacks we have in this particular arc. Yes. So then they basically notice in the window. Then they meet up with, well, they see Pudding trying to address specific meet with Luffy. But then they see Baron Tamango. Now, Brook recognizes him but does not know his name. Pedro does. Yes, he identifies him as Baron Tamango. And he basically is informed what happened in the previous episodes with the Triad ship and basically behind it. And also, they do have a drawing of Kara because she's not a one poster yet. Yeah, but she probably will after the Wano arc. Yes, probably will. Maybe. It depends upon what the world government wants to. Because they did say in the last chapter, there was a boatload of new bounties released. Which we'll find out whenever the chapter comes out, which I'm looking forward to seeing what the new bounties are for. Like, I know the bounties for this, after this arc, they do go up. Because it seems like post-time skip, like, every time they finish up a story arc, like for 2 story arcs, 2 major story arcs in a row, every time they finish it, the bounty goes up. Yes, so I would not be surprised if somehow it happened. Like, because it basically did. It went up tremendously because last time Luffy's went up after this arc was a pretty high bounty. You probably have to watch my regular review series for this one to find out exactly what the bounty is, because it is quite high. They revealed it in the very next arc of the series, every arc, of exactly what his new bounty is. So, basically, Pedro and Brook's job is to go find the Poneglyph. That's pretty much their job. They're off to find the damn thing. And one thing I really enjoyed about this particular arc is Brook's spotlight time. He gets a ton of stuff to do. This probably makes up the fact that he basically had to leave halfway through Dressrosa. Yeah, this is basically him. This is basically Oda apologizing for it. Now, over the course of the 3 episodes we are covering here, each episode covers 1 chapter. Yes. You're probably thinking, okay, what chapters was these 3 episodes cover? Well, 795 covers 834, pages 4 through 17. Yep. What you're thinking, is that the whole chapter? Yes, it is. Well, kind of anyways. They actually started to adapt this one with episode 794. But as for the other 2, let's see, 796 It's pages 3 through 17 of 835. And 797, it is, well, for issue chapter 835, 17 and 19 in pages 2 to 13 of chapter 836. Yes, so they roughly adapt roughly about 2 chapters in just 3 episodes, but that's what One Piece does. So, what was I talking about again? Oh, yes. Well, you have this brief little scene here of these things which are revealed by the big guy in the ground, which I'm going to say his name is Pound. He reveals they're actually a part of Big Mom's soul, and this is life or leave. And they have to give 1 month of their life. And apparently 6 years go by before they realize, though, that 1 year of their life is taken away. Yeah. Oh, yeah, in the case of basically Pedro and Brook, after they see Barrington Mongo, they basically are not, it's a very brief scene per se, and then pretty much afterwards, mostly it's focused on the seducing woods, though in episode 796, we have Big Mom basically chatting with basically the bunch of candy, and then we see this gigantic man show up. This is Cracker. Yeah, this giant man. Where he's actually one of the top 3 sweet generals. Yep, he is one of the generals, one of the sweet generals. Who are the heir to, you might ask? His brothers. So, he goes off to beat up Straw Hat Luffy. And then we kind of reveal what happened with Breely, with Nami and Carrot, and with Nami, Carrot, and Chopper. Where Carrot tried to fight her after Nami was taken by Breely. And she was able to get out of her grasp by taking out her climb baton, which she able to basically pull off her chest. No, seriously. She does this freaking twice. Pull objects up between her breasts. I mean, first it's the Climatat. Then it's basically, well, it gets that. It's basically deal with something a little bit after that. So, she hits Breely in the gut. I should point out about Breely. I think she's like 41, I think she is. Because she's a little bit older than... Let's see if I can find her here. Okay, here we go. Breely, who's got a fantastic body, by the way. Yeah, great body. Nose, I'm not really a big fan of. She is 43 years old. I'm like, damn. Like, if you look at her, like, she looks like she has a terrific body for someone who's basically 45. Yeah. Yeah, she's basically, it's like a witch. By her sister, Sheila Barella, who actually does make a debut a little bit later. She's a couple years, she's basically the same age as her. And she's making a debut into episode 832. And her sister is hot. Oh my. When you get to Breely, is like, well, don't have a problem with the gray skin, by the way. No problem with that. I think it's fine. She has like a witch look to her. So I think like she's wearing a nightgown. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Look like she's wearing a freaking nightgown. So, then of course, Kara tries to fight her, and then she gets transported to Mirror World, and then we see Chopper where he goes monster form with only one of the armor balls, instead of 3 at once, and proceeds to fight the forest itself, however, Breely, and then it's later revealed he got captured as well, off screen. Yep, so basically, and then after we run up a bunch of, well, copycats anyways. Then pretty much like right after that, then he like it's found out one of them is actually Nami. And of course Nami proceeds to beat the crap out of him for tying her up. well, how could he tell? And she's like, because all the copycats basically are making animaloids that she isn't. Excuse me. So she and Luffy have the big guy, Pound, spill the beans. Basically, he reveals the whole thing with the ground, and he does point out how Luffy is strong, and of course the Rain is strong. Of course, he kind of reveals the whole thing, really capturing him. That's a little bit later. But he just see Nami is strong-willed, and he basically explains the whole thing related to the homies, basically the whole soul fruit. He, of course, he kept accidentally referring to Big Mom as Lin Lin. Of course, the end of the conversation reveals, oh yes, he and Charlotte Lin Lin, aka Big Mom, were once husband and wife. And that shocks Luffy and Nami, the fact that he was actually married to her. And then here comes Cracker. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Wasting all these homies. And then he picks a Pound from the ground. Like, Luffy's like, wait, I thought he was a giant. Just a guy with a big head. And he's like, oh, I really want to basically see my daughter, Clifton. Give her a blessing for her marriage. Boss will see his grandchild. Like, and my daughter Lola turned away. And that sparked Nami. It's like, Lola? Why does it familiar? And then we have a flashback to Thriller Bark of all things. Where it's basically the scenes of Lola and Nami interacting. And of course, Nami's like shocked. It doesn't. Then we have Luffy freeing. And then of course, Cracker reveals to Pound. And he says, Mama gave me special orders for you. And he's like, what was the orders Lin Lin gave you? To kill you. He's like, oh crap. And it seems like he's about to do it. About to kill his stepfather. And he's like, oh, all your 43 ex-husbands. It's like the moment they come in divorce, they're a complete stranger. So then then of course Luffy proceeds to start fighting Cracker. And of course Pound reveals to Nami his name. And also, of course, Nami figures out that Lola is actually his daughter. So, and then, of course, the homies start chasing after them. And then she's able to hold him off thanks to Lola's Viva card, was Big Mom's Viva card, which has her part of her soul in it. And, of course, basically, like, Breely's wondering, why y'all stop for? It's the soul power Big Mom. Is like, really? Yep. Which, damn, that's actually pretty good there. And that's her live off there. But damn, 3 really good episodes. Oh, by the way, we actually have Randolph being called off. Yes, Randolph, who is an actual rabbit, not a mink. A rabbit who was brought to life by a soul thing. You may think, oh, what was it one of Big Mom's children? Nope, he isn't. He's just a rabbit brought to life by Mom's soul power. And apparently this rabbit can talk, along with the bird. Which apparently they didn't know the bird could freaking fly. Yeah, I thought this was quite hilarious. But damn, really good 3 episodes. Can't wait to discuss more of this stuff. It's so awesome. Okay, so that's it. Review. Next up is 2 Comic Corners. That's going to be pretty much it for tonight, okay? Next video. Bye.